Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 8th Board of Commissioners meeting. We'd like to thank all those who are in attendance and all who have joined us online. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Elizabeth, can you call the roll, please?
Mayor Harker,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cooper,
Here.
Commissioner Gillikin,
Here.
Commissioner LaPiccolo,
Here.
Commissioner Oliver,
Here.
Commissioner Spiegler.
Here. Okay. Is there any way to turn the volume up on this a little bit? Thank you. So all the commissioners, please make sure your mics are in front of you so that everyone can hear. You have agenda in front of you. Unless there's any questions, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So move.
Got a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed have the same right. Now we're going to move on to the items of consent. We have the meeting minutes from the November 10th, 2025 meeting. We have the FY 2025 audit contract amendment. We have the personnel policy amendment, that's Article 5, Section 12, drug and alcohol policy, and the resolution issuance of the stormwater system revenue bond. Can I get a motion to approve the items of consent unless there's any questions?
So move.
Got a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. All right, now we're going to move on to public comment. It's crickets? Oh, okay. All righty. Now we're going to move on to old business. This is the adoption of the proposed F3 Marina Budget Ordinance. That's the FY 2026 fee schedule and budget amendment number 3. We have Mr. Matt Zapp, our town manager, and Lori Meehan, who will present on that.
Thank you. Lori, would you join us at the podium? And I think I'll just stay seated here. That's okay. So Mayor, Commissioners, residents of Beaufort, we have before you tonight a final draft of the proposed marina budget. And as a general house cleaning measure, I wanted to share with you that the town is anticipating taking over the control of the docks from a management standpoint effective at midnight on January the 1st or midnight the 31st into 12:01 a.m. on January 1. In preparation of that, the town has, in my opinion, done a very fine job of trying to assemble a group of citizens engaged in this conversation. We have landed with F3 Marina as our management firm here to help us with this new transition. And over the course of the last 60 days, I'd like to publicly thank Lori for her assistance, her team at F3, Hunter Spittler, and the rest. What we have tonight should be the outline or the skeleton of your final numbers, which we can adapt and adjust as you see fit. I also have a stack of paper here that has all of our insurance information that was emailed out on Saturday, and then we sent 2 additional follow-ups today, so I wanted to make sure you have a printed copy so that if any questions arise about your insurance policy, deductibles, and information. And I'd also like to recognize that Mr. Mike McAdden is with us in the audience to help if we happen to need his assistance as our insurance broker or agent. So with that being said, we have created a new fund so that there would be 100% transparency in the management of the docks, and this would be the first 6 months of that operational situation. And so as a reminder, the town as a municipal government in the great state of North Carolina operates on a fiscal year that begins effectively July 1st and then runs through June 30th each year. Because we're halfway through a cycle, our fiscal year would actually be 50% complete as of January 1. So you're receiving a budget presentation that is showing dates of effectiveness, including January 1st through and including June 30th of 2026. So these numbers would, in theory, be roughly 50% of what we would see in an annualized budget. So the board has a printed copy in front of them, and I apologize, there may be one line missing on the copy that I have as we had an update to the agenda, and that is what you have on the screens tonight. So in the event that there is a line missing, Ms. Lori will reference that. So with that being said, I'd like to turn it over to Lori, our team member from F3 Marina, who's also our interim dock manager, a woman of many talents and many titles. So we'll get her a hat rack for Christmas, but we're so thankful she's here with us and a local resident of Beaufort for this period of transition. So welcome, Lori. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We did make our way to Beaufort on Thursday, and we've been tied up at the docks since then. Have a list of restaurants. We're going to get to every single one of them at least once while we're here. Our welcome bag that we're going to have for transients as they come to town is also going to come with personal endorsements as well. So I can tell you that the Beaufort Grocery and Ribeye, very good. But we'll keep checking those off the list. That's, my husband and I, Rob, he's here with me tonight. Absolutely love this town, so we're already enjoying our time in Beaufort. So what we have for you today in this budget reflects pricing that's been discussed multiple times in terms of what we're going to be charging for new annual customers, new commercial customers, existing commercial customers, as well as transient projections based on an overall 30%, 100%, 100% of the time, or for 30% of the year, we would expect 100% occupancy. Sorry, those words got a little confused. But as you look at that, with the annual slip rental, what was missing on the screen was $20,160. It was there across accrued over January through June. Looking at monthly rental of $47,250, commercial rental of $47,50. We anticipate the transient revenue to be $611,187, and we expect to recoup in electric fees and utilities $56,350, with a total revenue of $781,395.01. We do anticipate being able to sell fuel beginning in April. Based on historical data, we're looking at $400,000 a month in fuel sales, with a cost of goods of $300,000 each month, making $1 a gallon. So for every gallon that we sell, at minimum, we will make $1. So when you look at the $1.2 million in revenue there, our cost of goods is going to be, 75% of that. We look at the sales for Ship Store. We don't have one yet, but something that we certainly would like to consider. We have ICE projected for sales at $17.50, so our total retail sales at $1.201,750,000. I'm happy to talk through the different pricing, but this does reflect what was discussed at the last committee meeting, which was $13.50 a foot for our existing commercial tenants, $16 a foot for all of those that are new. Questions I can answer about the income.
Okay.
The rental fee for footage, we went with $13.50.
That was the recommendation from the committee that we're bringing forward to you tonight. We started at $10.50 the last time that we were discussing this. What was my recommendation? What we have found is that the existing customers are willing to pay that and more, but I'm just waiting for direction from all of you on where we're going to land.
So as a committee, we have not committed to that $13.50.
There's no commitment at this point for anything. That's what tonight, I believe, is for.
Is that what tonight is for, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
you're going to be, yes. So you're listening to the recommendations that came from the BWOLF, but the board makes the final decision as to what those fees will be.
That's all right. Thank you.
Okay.
Any further questions for Lori? Okay, I guess we can move on.
Okay. So I think, Elizabeth, you had the fee schedule. So I believe the last time that we spoke with the committee, the question came up about being able to charge higher rates during peak times. And so based on the need for this group to approve any pricing, I have asked that we approve a range. Right now, the pricing that you see on the lower end is what's currently being charged as a transient rate for different size vessels. So $1.95 a foot if you're 35 feet or less, $3.75 for the 50-foot vessels, and then it goes up $4.95, $5.95, $6.95 based on the different length of vessel. What I'm proposing is that we have a range so that during a peak time, we could add another $2 a foot to that. So $1.95 to $3.95, $3.75 to $5.75. There are algorithms and programs that can do that automatically. I would propose that for this first season that we not engage in that or pay for that service. I would like for us to manually go through this process first. And then next year, if we find that we think it would be advantageous to look at DACWA and look at that kind of offering, it's about $8,000 to $10,000 as an add-on. I don't think we can recoup that this year. So I would prefer just to be able to work within that range. But if these prices look like they're reasonable to you, I believe that they are in terms of market. This is what we would like to use for our transient stays. Okay, so our commercial operators, this is a change from the last month when I was here. Rather than the $10.50 a foot, we're now proposing $13.50 a foot. It's an annual contract charged monthly. Any new folks coming in, new commercial or annual, would be right at the market rate of $16 a foot. The winter dockage and traditionally has been a flat fee plus $1 or $1.50 a foot. I would propose that we do away with that type of pricing and go with $10.50 a foot for winter pricing. And then the electric charges are what are currently being charged. In looking at the bills from Duke Energy, we believe we will recoup plus all of the electric charges that are being paid by the marina. So there will be between a 10 and 15% cushion in the positive for us that would cover maintenance, water, anything else that we would determine to be utilities. Questions about the pricing?
I just wanted to get clarification on that day dock fee. So it says free up to 3 hours, $1.95 to $3.95 per foot per night if they remain docked. So if someone comes in at 10 a.m. and leaves their boat all day, do they just get charged the entire day of?
It would be charged as a transient for that
As a
slip.
transient?
Yes.
Okay. And would there be any other way to try to discourage that? Because we would like to have those slips available so people could use those for 3 hours or so.
Right.
Because that could lead to people just deciding to come in and leaving their boats for a day. If they figure out, well, they could just pay $30-something bucks or $40-something bucks to leave their
Right.
boat there.
Well, certainly the first time that happens might be an oversight, but because they have to register with us through DACWA, the second time that they bring their boat in for the free dock and register, we'd certainly have a conversation about that.
Okay.
So if that's their intent, we would just ask for them to register for a transient and move them to another slip.
Okay. I just would love to have some clarification or maybe some teeth in that to try to prevent that from happening. And I'll lean on you to kind of decide that and figure that out. So.
Okay.
Also here, we don't have, you have commercial operators at $13.50, but we don't have old versus new. Would that be, is this going to be the forward-facing document when it's all said and done, or will it be another line item?
This is just for your review.
our reference
Once
for
you,
us to
yes,
decide
once you
upon.
have voted on it, then we will put those in place on the website. The commercial operators, as I understand it, were just the existing commercials. Anything else is going to be under the annual pricing.
Okay.
So we can list that separately, existing commercial versus any new.
Any additional questions?
Yes, the mooring, what we're gonna, those that dock, that moors outside of our docks.
So my understanding is that we don't have any jurisdiction over the moorings.
We have no jurisdiction over.
I don't have any jurisdiction over the moorings. So if we would like to build a mooring field, I'm happy to manage it for you.
Yes, please. Oh, we'll have to do that.
I think that's something that, I would leave on the BWOF committee, but I think that's something that I would be interested in seeing happen. Maybe not for our first year as we're trying to roll this out and get things started, but I think it'd definitely be something
Sure.
that would be of interest to the town.
Yeah, I think that still is of interest. We just hadn't gotten there yet, but.
Okay. I know it was brought up in your guys' last meeting.
Okay. All righty. Any further presentation?
That's all I have to present.
Unless the board has any
I
further
have one
questions.
quick question,
Okay,
if I
yes.
could. And maybe you can help me with this. I don't see that number in this revised schedule.
So that's, yes, sir. The sheet above you is correct. All it is this top number was blank.
It's that number.
Right, so we're missing,
20,000. This is
Yes,
781, and then this number's still accurate.
Yes,
So this
20.
number that you sent out is correct.
It was just, this document that I printed you is missing that space.
Very good. So this is a real one.
It's correct, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So it's a time for the board to deliberate. You have a suggested fee schedule that came from your BWOF committee. And that's a place where you can start. And if you wish to make any changes to that, it's definitely up to the pleasure of the board to do so. Just F3 is looking for some direction.
I know the BWOF made a suggestion of the 1350, but I think in our last meeting, we were not wanting to put in unfair burden on the vendors that are presently using our docks, and we was looking at maintaining that 1050. Some was asking to go to, immediately to go to $16. But the argument was there is that we, in terms of their budget, whether or not that would be something that we would want to be placed on our vendors at that immediate time to just thrust $16. And I'm still in favor of pretty much at the 1050 versus the 1350 that the BWOF, but I would concur whatever pleases the board.
I think that's correct. We had discussed a range of options for the commercial operators. The BWOF committee did deliberate and discuss, and it seemed like the $13.50 per foot for the existing commercial operators, not any new ones, would be a fair compromise. It would give them a year and essentially 2 budget cycles to get up to market rate. So I think I would be willing to support the BWOF recommendation of $13.50 because it sounds like a good compromise to me.
I also spoke with most of the commercial operators directly downtown, and they seem to be pretty amenable on the committee's recommendation.
Yeah,
Hey.
I received a couple of emails from some of them, and so, I can go with the BWOF, because once again, even though, they've said that, whatever we wanted to charge, most of them still had to try to figure out, there was a couple of them that still had to figure out their budget because they don't operate on a yearly basis.
Yeah, and I was one of the ones that really wanted to stick with 1050, and this is a compromise for me, 1350, and it seems reasonable. And they'll be up to market in 2027, which will be here before we know it. And anything that we miss out on in terms of profit is going to be less than 0.5% of the entire project. So I'm comfortable with this compromise of 1350.
Is it,
No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
huh?
You go ahead.
Elizabeth, pull up, because we were looking at was it 1050 for the winter fee? From January to March?
That's just for winter dockage.
Winter dog.
Oh, yes, see it
Yes.
there. Okay.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say thank you to Lori for all the work you've done. You've done a really great job, and I think you've done a good job with this budget, and I feel comfortable with what's proposed here.
Okay. Any further questions?
Yeah, so I've got a comment. I mean, so we went to 1350 from 1050 with just basically discussion from BWOF. And, I just want to speak myself here as just a business owner. But, we were looking at $16, and obviously I'd made the motion last meeting to go to $16 at market rate, because $16 seemed fair. We have Swansboro at 22, we have Homer Smith at 16. To ask our operators down there to pay 16, I think is fair. I think it shows a spirit of collaboration that they're interested in trying to help the town out. And, market rates are what makes it possible to keep properties in good shape. If you're charging below market rates, usually sometimes properties can suffer. And I think operators understand this. We had 2 operators, and I want to thank Robert Morris from Lookout Cruises and John Dickinson from Waterbug Tours. Both of them reached out separately. I spoke to John personally, but both of them reached out separately to the town and to Matt to basically say that, yes, they're willing to pay $16 at market rate because they understand it. They get it. They understand what's going on here. They understand that repairs are needed, there's costs involved, and they're saying they're willing to pay these market rates. We have a very high demand for the slips downtown. We have not even had any advertisement, and the town inquiries already have come in regarding the slips without even advertising. And these people are interested at slips at market rates. The town is putting real money into this. We're moving about $472,000 of taxpayer dollars into the Waterfront Operations Fund, and that's just a start. We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars so far on these docks to date. We've got docks that need repairs and new issues like potential dredging so that the boats can actually get into their slips. We're seeing that showing over. And fire code issues, which we don't have a number on yet for what we're going to have to pay for that. And I'm not sure if that's completely included in our budget or not. Likely not, because we don't have a number on that yet. So there's a lot that needs to be addressed. And I keep coming back to the data, because I'm a data-driven person. And so far, the only real data we've had was from Lori. And Lori, I thank you, and I read all the work you've done here. Looking at comparable marinas, which pointed to that $16 a foot as market rate. And I haven't seen anything else that supports going lower than that. So we've got commercial operators who understand that, and I think there's probably some BWOF committee members that understand that too. So based on me from right now, $16 a linear foot seems fair and reasonable, and then that's what I support.
I'd like to make another comment.
Okay.
As far as the demand in those commercial slips, I think if they would have been filled by now, if there was a lot of demand for those commercial slips. They're very shallow, they're on affixed docks. The docks aren't in great shape. The access to the public to get to the boats is a little bit hard. The parasail boats, the bow sits on the bottom at low tide. So there's some difficulties there, and those conditions need to be improved over time, and they will be. But I think, what I've been saying the whole time, it's not about just the finances, it's about how we do things. These folks have kind of been up in the air about what the fate of their business is going to be up in, downtown, since we've been having discussions even before we talked about Safe Harbor potentially taking over. And they've also been, actively recruited by, another location in town and trying to encourage them to consider what that might be like. So I want to acknowledge their contribution to the downtown economy and the fact that, as Perry Barrow says, they're an anchor of downtown, these businesses. They're bringing in tens of thousands of people every year to the downtown area that are spending money down there. So I guess I'm really committed to doing this to maintain and build our relationship. Like I say, any profit that we are not going to get in the 1 year that we're charging $13.50 is going to be well less than 0.5%. So I'd like to acknowledge the importance of these folks and go ahead with the $13.50 as a compromise, and recognizing the importance of market rate. I do realize we need to get there, and we will, and it'll be here sooner than we can really blink an eye.
I have one more comment. I agree with both of the commissioners that just spoke. I do think we need to get to market rate, and that's why we, as the BWOF committee discussed, we are planning to get there within 1 year. So I think, Commissioner LaPiccola, I agree with you. I think 1 year to let them get up to market rate is a good compromise, and I think that our BWOF committee, the vote was substantially on this plan moving forward, so I still support the $13.50 for the next year.
Any further comments? Hearing that there is none. Based on the conversation, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that as concerns the submitted budget, that we approve it as presented.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor to approve the budget as presented. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Lori, you have a budget. Okay, so now we need to work on the fee schedule. That was the one that Lori had showed us earlier. Can we put that up? Thank you. That
So-
fee schedule, can we?
So for
Just-
clarity, before we go to that, if that's okay, the action items that are needed are listed here. So just to make sure that we are dotting i's and crossing t's, we appreciate your approval of the budget. To provide those adjustments to the fees for the overall town fee schedule, we would like an actionable item to adjust and amend the fee schedule with the numbers presented. And then there's other pieces that we'll move through, but I believe your first one was to adopt the fee schedule, if that's okay.
I consider the budget is made and based upon the fee schedule. Therefore, in approving the budget, in my opinion, we have approved the rate schedule. If there's any question, I'll make a motion again to approve the rate schedule as published.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor. Any questions?
Would that be at the 1350, there, Commissioner?
As published, 1350.
Okay, any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Okay. Then we need to approve, let me see, the budget ordinance for the Dock Enterprise Fund.
Thank you.
Okay.
I discussed this last time, and I believe I'm correct. Christie, if you're here, are you? What we're approving, in my opinion, is an allocation of an additional $200,000 from capital reserve funds, which are, is that correct?
Yes, and Christie's going to come up to address that.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. So this budget amendment moves the funds from the project fund, and also there was an amount that had been set aside in previous budgets that was in the capital reserve fund in the dock bucket. And so we're moving all of that to be your working capital in your new Fund 14. So that's the $472,000 amount that's for your budget ordinance tonight. So you're approving budget amendment number 3, which is transferring the $472,000 from the waterfront project fund. And then your budget ordinance actually reflects receiving that $472,000 or appropriating that $472,000 in the new enterprise fund.
And just for clarity, if I could, Christie, the $200,000 is coming exactly from where?
The capital reserve fund for the docks.
Correct, which is an enterprise fund, not general fund. It's money that's already established in an enterprise fund. It's moving it over from that reserve account. Am I correct?
From the reserve account to your new enterprise fund, which is Fund 14, and then the excess funds from the project fund into Fund 14, because now you have an actual enterprise fund to handle your operational business out of.
And all of this, all these funds will be in the dock account 14 and available.
Yes, sir.
Because the concern I have, and we talked about it last time, but if you look at the budget, we have roughly $225,000, $224,000 in losses during the first 3 months of operation. And in addition, we're going to have to buy about $75,000 worth of fuel. So we're going to have, if the budget holds true, we're going to have a need for $300,000 during the first 3 months. And that assumes that we make our construction budget without any overruns or contingencies that exceed the amount we have borrowed for that. So we're putting $472,000 against pretty much a predictable $300,000. So in all honesty, we're not over-rich in that thing. This is a projection. And so right now, based on this, we've got about $170,000 of cash in the dock budget for any variances from that. So I just urge you to keep, one of the things that we've decided upon is that we're going to look at this thing with our monthly report to the commissioners. And I just urge those of you who will be here after I'm gone tonight to keep a good eye on this, because that's not a lot of fudge factor in looking at business of this volume. And I don't in any way put this problem on F3. It's not an F3 problem. It's a construction problem, and it's a projection of losses. It's a valid budget, which we've approved, and certainly there's no blame to be on F3, but we as a town are making these decisions and lining this up, and we just need to keep a very careful monthly eye on it, would be my suggestion to you.
That being said, if there were any delays in the fuel tank, we were talking about $400,000 for income for fuel sales, for diesel sales for April.
It would
That could put a very
it would
quick dent.
it would evaporate.
If that wasn't available, if we had a shortfall, what would be available to this, to be able to
Come from
fill
this
that,
board.
to
It would
backfill
come from
this?
this board.
Right, but from where?
Not a penny. You got $172,000 worth of fudge factor.
Right.
So I have a difference of opinion. It's along the same lines, but you also will have revenue coming in January, February, and March, so we need not forget that. In addition, so you'll have your winter dockage, which if 30-plus boats are in there, you're going to have that revenue. You're going to also have the revenue coming in on the annual for the commercial slip leases, so you will have revenue generation. And Commissioner Oliver and I have discussed at great length the needs that would be there for the first 90 days. So the takeaway from here is to be very careful and selective in our expenditures and monitor it, which I firmly believe we will. The other piece is to have a backup plan for fuel delivery in April in the event that all things don't go smooth, and we're working through that on temporary fuel distribution as well.
In all due respect, the $224,000 net loss includes the revenues that you just talked about. So I think my number is accurate.
Thank you.
So having said that, I will make a motion to approve the budget amendment as published.
The budget ordinance for the enterprise fund. Okay. All right. We've got a motion on the floor. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Thank you, Christie. Now, Lori, I think you have all that you need. All right, so tonight we have the honor of recognizing Commissioner Charles Bucky Oliver for his 4 years of service to the town of Beaufort. From the moment that Bucky and Wendy arrived here in Beaufort, they jumped in with both feet, ready to serve, ready to improve, and to help the town in any way possible. So it was no surprise when Bucky ran for office, his slogan was Bucky for Beaufort. So during his time on the board, Bucky has shown time and time again, today was another example, that he does his homework, he comes prepared, he asks the right questions, and always strives to do the best for our town. He has helped us move forward in important ideas and initiatives with great thoughtfulness and care. So although his service is coming to a formal end tonight, I know that without any doubt that he will always continue to be Bucky for Beaufort. So on behalf of the town of Beaufort, all the commissioners, please come join me as we not say farewell, but say thank you for your dedicated service to the town of Beaufort. It gives me great pleasure to present this wonderful token of our appreciation.
Thank you, Madam
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you. All righty, so let me go ahead and read it if I can. With gratitude for your dedicated service and steady leadership to the people of Beaufort, your contributions have strengthened our community and will be remembered for years to come.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All righty.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Start and finish.
You want to say a few final words?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, let's get our final photo. Oh, you want to say something? This is his bestie.
He truly is going to be missed. Every word that the mayor stated in terms of his due diligence and making sure that Beaufort comes first. When we were both elected at the same year, and basically for his financing and budgeting, only knew my home budget. So I had to do Budget 101, and my teacher was Bucky. And all that I know now about budgeting is from this man here, because he will teach you. If you ask, he will do it. And he's been a true friend. And some people have wondered why, Bucky and I work so well, because we understand one another. And we made a commitment that he would handle the budget end and I would handle the community. And it has worked well. And I'm going to miss my buddy being not sitting at the same table with me, but I know he will be out here sitting in the gallery. And if we're not right, he'll let us know. And you're my buddy. You're my man. You're my ride or die. Where you going?
Gotta sit down.
Sit down on the peanut gallery.
Don't drop it, it's heavy, it's expensive. Now, before we move on, if anyone wishes to say any kind or farewell words to Bucky, I'll give you this opportunity to do this as well. I told you not to drop it. Commissioner Gilligan.
Bucky, I appreciate you for so many things, but one thing I really appreciate you for is your love of spreadsheets. We share that, but what you can do is you can glance at a spreadsheet and a number will pop off the page at you, and you'll know that something's not right with it, and you ask the right questions. So I really respect your ability to do that, and I also respect your willingness to answer the phone anytime. And if you don't answer the phone, you will call back within an hour. And you just provided consistent mentorship. Doesn't matter if we agreed or disagreed on the issue. I just appreciate you answering every single one of my calls and being super helpful and supportive and providing very wise guidance. And I'll still be coming to you in the future. Hope you'll have me. Thank you for your service.
Commissioner Piccolo?
Yeah, can't see you from here, Bucky, but,
Thank you, Jeff.
I mean, what can't we say about Bucky? I mean, Bucky, I can't thank you enough for the guidance and leadership that you provided for me when I came on the board, for one. But two, just your leadership in our community is just, there's no comparison. You're, to me, one of the best leaders in our community. You're about the community, you're about the people, and you're all about the kids, too. I know, Bucky, if there's anything out there where kids will be beneficial or it would benefit from, Bucky's there to basically, give it all he's got and his knowledge and his leadership and so forth. The other night I was thinking about something and had someone who was looking to possibly make a donation and property and any types of things. And I thought, well, let me look up this board and see who's on the board who I could contact. I went on the computer and went on the board, and there was Bucky. He's on that board. I don't know what board in this county Bucky is not on. He is a great leader, a great community member, and you'll be missed from this board. The knowledge, leadership, the connections, the depth of knowledge will definitely be missed. So I wish you well, and I thank you from my heart. Thank you. Welcome.
Commissioner Spiegler?
Well, I think it's been said, Bucky, but I just want to say thank you because as a new commissioner, I really benefited from sitting next to you for 2 years and learning from you and from your perspective, and that was really valuable to me, especially being so new and so green and not really knowing what was going on in the beginning. So just thank you for your perspective. It was a really, really good learning experience for me, and you have big shoes to fill. So like we've heard, don't be a stranger. We know you won't be. And just thank you for everything you've done for the town of Beaufort.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Thank you, Bucky, for all that you continue to do for Beaufort. All righty, now we're just going to move on to the administration of oath. Dexter Matthews, Commissioner-elect, will not be here tonight. And we all believe that family's first. So he is right where he needs to be right now. And when he is through taking care of his family, we will be able to get him sworn into office. He really misses being here, but like I said, he's right where he needs to be today. Without further ado, we've got Commissioner Melvin Cooper. You're still the commissioner. Let's get you back into the seat. All right.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right. I state your name,
Melvin Cooper,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States,
and the Constitution and laws
Constitution and laws
of North Carolina,
of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as Commissioner for the town of Beaufort.
as Commissioner of the town of Beaufort. I
Congratulations.
do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your sign. Let's try it again. All right.
All right.
First one on new stamp, okay?
Love that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Short trip.
Short trip. Now we're going to move on to new business. The first item under new business is the, budget amendment for pump station number 7.
So Sam and I are kind of working on the same item for the next 2 items on your agenda, but before we approve any contracts, it would be best to have the money in place. So Sam has a handout that I think was emailed earlier that just calls out a few certain points. So I'm going to address the financial side, and then Sam can address the contract side of things. But you may recall a while back, Project Fund number 67 for Pump Station number 7 was established, and those funds came from the American Rescue Plan Act. Now, we aren't under any parameters to have to meet any of those guidelines for that, because that money was all covered under revenue recognition. But anyway, that's where those funds came from to work on this pump station. We went out to bid, and we've received the low bid from Tommy Simpson, and the cost of the project is approximately $1,500,000. So we're about $511,000 short in the project fund to be able to complete that project. So this budget amendment is requesting that you appropriate the $511,000 to have the full balance to be able to complete that project from the utility fund balance. There, on the email that you just received, if you look down about halfway, there's a utility fund balance overview. There's approximately $5 million in unassigned fund balance. 2.6 million is restricted under your financial policy because that's approximately 50% of your annual expenditures. So you have $2.3 million available for appropriation. So this 511,000 would be coming out of that bucket of 2.3 million that's available for appropriation. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have on the budget amendment.
Thank you, Christie. Any questions for Christie? Commissioner Gilligan?
Do we have anything else imminent that we may have a need for from the 2.3?
I'll look to Matt and Sam to help fill in the blank. There is a long list of utility projects, but I think this would be the most pressing and important thing to accomplish at this time.
Thank you.
Any further
Should wait
questions?
for you to approve the amendment.
So since there's no further questions, Chrissy, I guess the motion for you want us to go ahead and take a look at approving this first. So
Yes, ma'am.
there is a request to approve this FY '26 budget amendment number 3 and capital projects utility budget amendment number 2. And can I get a motion to either approve or deny this?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed have the same right. Okay, part one's down.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. So for part two, I'll present to you the the award for the contract of the construction for pump station number 7 replacement project. As as Christie mentioned earlier, the first thing I had for you here was the bid tabulation. We received four bids from responsible contractors, and out of those 4 bids, the lowest was Thomas Simpson Construction Company out of Beaufort. We've worked with them a lot in the past, and they are definitely responsible and responsive contractors. So we were glad that they bid the project. Their bid came in at $1,448,618. And since the budget amendment has been approved, we have the funds to complete that project. That includes the 10% contingency as well. And also prepared for you a series of slides just as an overview of the project that we're looking forward to completing. If you want to go to those here. So here's the location of the current pump station. You can see is on the grounds of the county school bus garage. Originally constructed in 1969. Currently, it's operating at it's above design capacity, and is susceptible to inundation from high tides, storms, and high groundwater levels. The replacement upgrades that we're constructing will locate the pump station further away from the bus garage, as well as increase pump capacity, wet well capacity, and watertight compartments that'll help with that inflow and infiltration. And then on to the service area, just so you can see the wide area that pump station covers. You can see that the replacement will have a big effect on that area. You can see the immediate area sort of north of Cedar Street that it serves. It also serves the area from Lift Station 10 that pumps to Lift Station 7, which includes the Maritime Education Center, Gallants Point, and West Beaufort Road. And then I mentioned the budget numbers we have and timeline for construction. Notice of award December 2025. Notice to proceed will be next month, January. And then the contract time is 180 days with final completion at 210 days, which puts it being completed by this summer. So we're looking forward to it. And with that, the recommended consideration for tonight would be to award that construction contract to Thomas Simpson Construction, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about the project.
Thank you, Sam. Any questions for Sam? Yes.
Who is it?
Commissioner LaPiccolo.
The property issue has been completely squared away. This is all within town property now, right? We're all set on that regard.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
Commissioner Cooper?
What was the name of the company again, Sam?
Thomas Simpson Construction Company.
Oh, Thomas Simpson.
Commissioner Gilligan? No. All right, unless there's any further questions, I'm looking for a motion to either approve or deny the contract to Thomas Simpson Construction Company.
I make a motion that we move forward with recommendation, Dale of Simpson's Construction.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Any further questions?
I just want to thank the town and the collaborations that were made in the past to get this project done. This has been a long time coming. Looking at this today
Yes.
from the public eye, it looks to be pretty quick and simple, but this was something the town's been working on for ages. And so I want to thank the town and for making this happen and the collaborations that it took to make this happen. Also want to kind of thank, and I'm actually happy to see that we have a local operator who bid this project. So we'll be going to a local operator in Beaufort as well as Hibbs Electrical. So I'm kind of delighted to see that we have some names that we're aware of and have had faith in. So
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so we're back to the motion on hand. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Now we're going to move on to the Mardi Gras 2026 event application, and we've got Ms. Wellborn to present on that one.
Hi, Mayor and Commissioners. We have received the special event permit application from the Beaufort Business Association for their 2026 Mardi Gras Parade and Festival. They're looking to have it on Saturday, February 21st, 2026, which is the weekend after Valentine's Day. So hopefully the local businesses will be able to capitalize on both of those weekends. Me and Kristen Prescott from the BBA and representatives from the police department met on November 17th and discussed safety concerns and road closures and hashed all of that out. And then the fire department and public works have also reviewed the application electronically. The festival is planned for 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and a parade from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. with a lineup at 2:30. They're asking for a few different road closures this year to accommodate the amount of people that have attended this event in the past. They're looking to close the 100 block of Turner, Middle Lane, and then Craven Street parking lot and utilize that for food trucks. And then for the parade route, it'll be Front Street from Gordon to Orange, and then turn down Orange Street and go from Orange to Broad Street. The parade route would be a road closures from 2:30 to 4 p.m. And then the rest of it would be all day from the police closing it in the morning. And then they're trying to have a hard stop at 5 p.m., I believe, for the food trucks. And then with the crowd control dependent when the police can reopen those Middle Lane and Turner Street, but looking to reopen that by 6 p.m. So with that, they're looking for approval of the closures of 100 block of Turner Street, Middle Lane, and Craven Street, the parade route closures, and then approval of alcohol waivers for these areas. There won't be any alcohol crossing Front Street at all, but in that area of the 100 block of Turner Street and Middle Lane, the BBA isn't selling alcohol themselves, but they're going to allow vendors, local vendors, to sell alcohol. And Kristen is here if you have any questions.
Okay. We'll start with any questions for Jen, and Ms. Prescott will get you to come up when the time is right. Any questions for Jen?
Yeah, the alcohol again?
So the BBA in the past has sold the alcohol themselves. They're gonna have vendors in that 100 block of Turner Street and then down Middle Lane where the vendors can sell alcohol and get the appropriate permits. But the BBA won't be making money off of alcohol sales themselves. It's just to help the local businesses.
And I have to apologize because my computer wasn't able to plug it in, so I don't have the, what's the date on this?
February 21st.
21st, yes.
So we're about a month and a half coming off the construction on Turner Street.
Yes, sir.
I hope the citizens will be okay.
Get to close it again.
Yeah,
That's what we're looking at.
okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Gilligan.
Jen, just to be clear, especially to the public, since we've recently talked about this, is the area that the food trucks will be in, can you clarify if that's public or private property and if it's in line with our current food truck policy?
It is just going to be contained to that Craven Street parking lot, so town property.
Okay, thank you.
And then also another, to address safety concerns from last year brought up, especially by our police department for the crowd control for the actual parade part. They have decided not to have full-size vehicles in the parade this year. Golf carts are allowed and then pedestrians. And they're gonna have representatives from the BBA to help with crowd control specifically for the parade.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about crowd control with numbers like 800 or so. Having that, I know that, I believe there are some even state ordinances for crowd control as well, for a number of people that have to be considered crowd control participants for the number of people at an event. So I appreciate you doing that and looking into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Would you like to ask Ms. Prescott any questions? Okay. All right, with that being said, I think the request is to either approve or deny this special event. This is including the closure of the 100 block of Turner Street, Middle Lane, and Craven parking, as well as approve the alcohol waiver in the designated areas.
I make a motion that we approve the special event application for Mardi Gras from the BBA as presented.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. I want to thank the
Thank you.
BBA for bringing this forward and making the parade probably a little bit longer too, because so many people wanted to move a little bit further, block by block by block. So it gets an opportunity for us to have a lot more fun, a few more blocks, and that's going to be great. So excited to see what you guys put together this year, and congratulations. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem. Okay. So this is an appointment that is made by this board for the position of Mayor Pro Tem, which is a very special position. In the event that the mayor is no longer able to handle her duties, the Mayor Pro Tem will step in and take her place, or his place. In this particular case, it's her place. Commissioner Cooper has served that role and has actually helped me out greatly. I want to thank him, especially when I've had my accident. I was able to rely on him tremendously. But it's still the obligation of this board to select a member, and we must go through a nomination process. So can I get a motion to open the floor for nominations for Mayor Pro Tem?
So move.
Got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Looking to seek names for nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor, I'd like to, at this time, first acknowledge, appreciated the time and effort. But I'd like to nominate Paula Gilligan.
Okay. We've got Paula Gilligan on the nomination. Any further? Hearing that there is none, can I get a motion to close the floor for nominations?
So move.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Since there are no other nominations being presented by acclamation, we can go ahead and say congratulations to our incoming Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner Paula Gilligan. So once again, I would like to thank Commissioner Melvin Cooper for serving in this role for 2 years. As I said, he has been a steady form of leadership in this position. He's had to step in a couple of times on my behalf and has done so with great dignity. And I want to thank you for your service to the Board of Commissioners in that role.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And I'll try not to be absent so much, but on your end. All right. Now we're going to move on to mayor, commissioners, and comments. We'll start with Commissioner Spiegler.
Great. Well, I want to say thank you, Commissioner Cooper, for all you've done the past 2 years as Mayor Pro Tem, and congrats, Commissioner Gillikin, for being our new Mayor Pro Tem. So thank you guys for your efforts. And all I have to say is I look forward to working with all of you for the next 2 years, and I'm excited for what we have coming up. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cooper?
Oh, fast. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I want to thank everybody. It was the 2 years as Mayor Pro Tem definitely was eventful. Fortunately, the mayor wasn't absent a lot, so I didn't have to step up to the plate too many times. But when I had to, I was readily available and sitting here beside her, gaining all the confidence and expertise that I knew needed to conduct meetings or be present at a particular function that she was not able to attend, and that do come up. I want to thank Attorney Jeff Newton for swearing me in this evening, and I want to again thank my good friend there, Bucky Oliver, for holding the Bible for me. This is that season, and there's quite a few food pantries around that are in need of food, because also at this particular time of the year, there is a great demand. Plus, we're just coming off where the government was shut down for a long period of time, and so a lot of people that had depended on the food pantry. So if you know of any, please, take a bag or a few items by there and drop them off. One of the things I have learned, the church I'm a member of, we learned that there are some items that people readily love to give, but when they give it, they sometimes forget there's other things that will have to go along with it, such as a box of macaroni and cheese. You can give them a box of macaroni and cheese, but guess what else they need with that? Milk. So be mindful of what you're giving, because sometimes you can give, but other things has to go along with that. And that was one of the things that when we were Martha's, what is it, Martha Pantry food thing?
Martha's Pantry.
Yeah, that they, we would come in there with a box of that stuff, and they're like, hey, this is great, but where's the milk? so be mindful of those things. Again, I'm going to miss sitting in the same area. First 2 years, we sat together, side by side. And then last two, I've had the pleasure of sitting here beside the mayor. So that made me look good.
They were being naughty, that's why they had to get split up.
Yeah, we were. We did a lot of talking. All right. I would not be sitting here again for another 4 years if it was not for the citizens of Beaufort having the confidence in me to reelect me here as a commissioner. So I want to thank the citizens of Beaufort and continue to know that I will continue to do my job in representing the citizens of Beaufort and making sure that whatever this board here does, we do with all the finesse and confidence that the citizens is looking for us to do as commissioners. And all of closing here is just Merry Christmas to all, and please stay safe. I know some of you will probably be traveling either by air or by automobile, whichever the case. I want you to be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gilligan.
First of all, congratulations, Commissioner Cooper, for another 4 years that you'll be dedicating to the town of Beaufort and its citizens. Also want to acknowledge something that Mayor Harker acknowledged in the newsletter, which is Haywood Weeks and his contribution to our community. I think the docks have probably been operating since I was really little, or maybe before, many decades now. And he has established quite a reputation for Beaufort and a wonderful set of docks and people who know us and love us. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that grows. We have a wonderful, wonderful place to move into, and it's hard to believe that the town and F3 are getting ready to take over January 1st, and I feel like Haywood Weeks is the reason for that. He set it up that way, and now we get to take over what he was such a good steward of. And also want to recognize Jeb. He's done a fantastic job, and people know his name here, up and down the Eastern Seaboard, and the Bahamas. Anywhere you go, everybody knows Jeb. In Eleuthera, I was in Eleuthera, and I was talking about Jeb from Beaufort. And also Mike, who has been a good sidekick to him, and all the other employees that have worked there for a long time have just really set us up with a gem here. And I can't tell you how much gratitude I have for Haywood and all of those guys. And also the Beaufort Waterfront Operations and Finance Committee, the work that they've done to help get us where we are today, and F3 coming in and really jumping in there with us and just jumping in head first and ready to go on the ground. And I can't wait to start wearing the new logo wear for Beaufort Docks coming January 1. So I'm just really appreciative for that. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone, and maybe even Happy New Year. We won't be seeing you folks until the new year, so please have a safe holiday, and hope you all get to spend some nice time with your friends and family.
Commissioner Piccolo.
All right, I'll keep it short because I know there's some cake back there. First, thanks to the BHA for Mardi Gras. You guys do a fantastic job every year. Besides the economic impact that brings to town, the fun factor is just off the charts. So if you haven't done the Mardi Gras in our town, please come on out to that. It's a great parade and fun time for all. The other thing I'd like to say is the town looks great as opposed to all the road construction and everything like that's going on. Public Works, thank you so much for doing the decorations. It looks wonderful. It's kind of got that old-timey feel with the wreaths, and it really is a classy look to the town. So thank you for that. And Dexter, I know you're watching. Welcome, and welcome to our board. Sorry you can't be with us tonight, but as Mayor said, family first, and we look forward to having you join us. And congratulations for being elected to this board. And then congratulations all around. So congratulations, Melvin. Congratulations, Paula, and Bucky. Congratulations on the final season and tour with us. I know you won't be going away, but you definitely will never be forgotten. So, thank you.
Thank you. The Christmas decorations do look great, don't they? When I came in from work to get changed to come here, I crossed the bridge at the exact moment that the lights came on. And that was amazing. So I don't know where the seashells went, but we don't need to bring those back, do we? Nope. Well, I would like to just echo some of the things that have already been said, because I've already had some pre-planned notes. In the December newsletter, I had an opportunity to publicly thank a very private person who I knew probably wouldn't show up here and let me do it in person, but that's Mr. Haywood Weeks. And in that December newsletter, I genuinely recognized the vision that he had for the Beaufort Docks for over 40 years. And that dedication has been sustained by his love for the town of Beaufort, and it has brought us countless numbers of people from around the world into our town, which would not have been here if it were not for his efforts. So I want to thank him for his commitment and his leadership, and we can't say enough. And I hope that we will continue to honor his legacy by welcoming F3 Marina into the fold to continue to build on what has already been started, that level of excellence. I know you guys are boots on the ground. Lori, would love to see you, and want to thank you for looking at making this operation smooth, looking for improvements, working with our community, definitely our business community. That's an important relationship to create, as well as I wish you a smooth transition come January 1. And everybody here on this board and in this town is rooting for your success because it's extremely important. So we're ready for the next chapter. I also would like to congratulate Commissioner Cooper for being reelected, and of course welcoming aboard Commissioner Matthews onto the board, and we'll get him sworn in, like I said, as soon as he's finished with his application. Also want to thank the BBA. You're coming into your own, Kristen. Congratulations on taking the helm, looking for great and amazing things from the BBA. This town is here to support your success because when you're successful, we're successful. Congratulations to our recent-elect Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner Gillikin. She's already thinking like me. She said all the comments I had to say. I want to thank our staff. You are so incredible, and you are what I consider the heartbeat of this town. I can't begin to tell you how many times people have told me every time they've picked up the phone and they've had a concern, how quickly it was addressed. And when Matt came on board, he said he was going to make that the Disney experience, and I believe people have grown used to that. So when you move to another community, you go, oh, this is not like Beaufort. It would have been handled already. And that's just because we have an amazing group of individuals. This year, I want to thank our legal team, who always seems to get left out of the thank you. But you're welcome. But Ari Grady and Jill Quattlebaum, what I call GQ, has represented our town and allowed for us to imagine great things. And I want to thank you for being there for every time I picked up the phone, which was kind of often, to make sure that we were guided to do the best thing for Beaufort. So I want to thank you. Okay. Our town manager, Matt Zapp. We could not have been more blessed to have Matt. I think everybody's in a seat in the season in which they need to be in. And right now, this is a seat he needs to be in. We are doing so many amazing things. Only somebody with his energy could keep up with it. And we're really trying to tell him to slow down a little bit too, because we're trying to keep up with him. But he's been the town's biggest cheerleader. He's been out there very active, and I want to say thank you for all that you've done and all you will continue to do. To all the commissioners, I want to thank you for being prepared and ready and always being accessible to our citizens and making sure that you listen to their concerns. When you are hearing our commissioners vote on something, they're taking into consideration the position that they're in and the town that they serve. So continue to speak up with them. And to our community, I want to thank you. There's no place on earth where you can close a street down and have a traffic cone make the biggest impact on earth. This is the classic taking lemons and making lemonades I have ever seen. And I think it's paying off in dividends. I mean, I went down there and everything is busy as all get out. And that's exactly what you want. I want to thank you for investing in Beaufort time and time again. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now, due to the lack of business, we will not be having a December work session, so that gives our staff a little bit more time with their family, me too. Also, the Board of Commissioners will be holding their annual board retreat at the Beaufort Hotel. This is all open to the community, and that's going to be held on Thursday, January the 29th, and Friday, January the 30th. Once again, both sessions are open to the public, and would love to see you there. So unless there's any further comments, there is none. Great. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Oh, by the way, there's cake in the back. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.